Nightmare is defined as an unpleasant or frightening dream. While this past Sunday in Foxborough, Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers offense witnessed their worst dreams become reality on their way to an embarrassing defeat at the hands of the New England Patriots. Let's look into how the Patriots defense wrote the script to a horror film starring Justin Herbert and his offensive line. Alright, so the Patriots early in the game here go to a Brian Flores classic. It is a all-out pressure. They're going to have one more coming. Then the offense can block, and the Chargers are actually going to mess up their protection, which makes this even worse for them. So the way this call works is we're going to be in a cover zero look with the defensive backs. This is one of my favorite pressure calls in all of football. It's going to be just a straight cover zero. So no help at all deep in the middle. This is just you have your guy. Now the way that you play this with the defensive backfield is a little bit different. Typically what you're going to do here in cover zero is these defensive backs are just going to be staring at these receivers leverage side hip, and they're going to be following them wherever they go. Problem with this is if it's a run play, or if we have quick game where maybe we get a slant here and then a flat route or something like this, you have to chase and you get out leveraged, and there's easy ways to manipulate that and get the ball out quickly or deep down the field on a deep post with Herbert just backpedaling 5 to 6 yards and then putting it up. Now, why this call is so great is because as a defensive back, your eyes are actually going to be in the backfield for the first about 3 steps of Herbert's drop here, so you're able to switch routes or see if it's a run and add to the run fit. Now, the reason why this works is because of this technique, quick crossing routes would be wide open with this, right? The reason this call works so well and it's so brilliant is because the way the line works is if you're on the inside here, so you're inside of the tackle, if you're blocked, you're actually going to drop into the middle of the field and help on those calls, and you'll see the Patriots do that here. So we'll go over the coverage aspect first of this before we get to the line. So Herbert is going to drop back to pass. We have motion here by the tight end. He inserts into the protection, so the defensive back who is covering him is actually going to add on into the pressure. If he were to continue all the way across the field here, this end would typically peel with him. That doesn't happen though because he's in protection. Herbert has nowhere to go to the ball. Good coverage by the Patriots. You could say, yes, perhaps we have the out route here, but pressure being in his face right away, his eyes do drift, which is very difficult not to when you have a Robert Spillane full speed into your face here. So he's not able to get to these outs that are open because of the Patriots' defensive back technique here, but we'll show you why this actually happens, and he's not able to hit his back foot and make this throw. So we'll go to the protection aspect here. So you're going to see Bradley Bozeman, the center here, point to our right, his left. So what he's indicating here is we're going to slide the protection this way. So this offensive tackle is going to take the end. We're going to block it up like this. Now this is absolutely perfect, but when Gaston is here inserting, he's got to block Spillane. The problem is he goes to the slide side for some reason, and because we're man on man here, Spillane is going to come in free on Herbert for a free hit, and Herbert has to play hero ball and evade Spillane right away. So if we take a look at the clip, Gaston's going to move. See how he goes to the slide side? That leaves Spillane wide open in the A gap. Herbert has to evade and make a throw. Now, the way this call works is there always is a free runner, but whenever you have a free runner, because they're sending one more than you can protect, you want that to be on the edge because it takes more time for that edge rusher to get to the quarterback. That gives Herbert time to set his feet and make a throw to one of those out routes. Yes, he'll get hit, but you live to fight another down and you get to move the ball and gain yards. This is a huge mistake from the Chargers early on in this one. Luckily, Herbert makes chicken salad out of you-know-what and actually throws the ball away, so it's not a massive loss. But miscommunication and protection, can't have linebackers coming from on the line of scrimmage free at your franchise star quarterback. Not a good start for the Chargers. Okay, now a little bit later, 4th down at the goal line. Chargers are going to come out here. They're going to motion Quentin Johnson across the formation. Patriots are in now a true cover 0 call. So there's no switching or anything of that nature. This is a true cover 0. I have my guy. If he runs into the stands, I am going to follow him. Patriots again are going to send one more than the Chargers can block. This time, not a problem with protection. Patriots just violate the rules. There's no mishap in blocking. Just a well-executed call for the most part by the Patriots. So Johnson is going to run across the field. Carlton Davis is going to follow him. So that's a key indicator for Justin Herbert. This is man coverage with the depth of the linebackers here. Despite this being inside the 5-yard line, this is clearly a blitz look of some sort, and judging by the depth of the backers, this is obviously going to be a 0 call. I think Herbert realizes that and is ready to get the ball out quickly. He turns, drops back and fades to his right, thinks he has the route that he wants, and Keenan Allen does have leverage there on the outside, but the ball should probably be thrown right there. Herbert just a step late because of the pressure and having to flush. Incomplete. Let's look over the protection aspect of this. Patriots are in a wide front here. So you have 2-3 techniques, 2 defensive ends. You have a tight end here who's actually going to chip the defensive end here, then get out into a route. He's going to be covered here. So we're going to get a 3 in the A-gap pressure. That is going to make Herbert flush here. Now, typically how we're going to block up this front here is we're going to fan, right? So we're going to go to each side. We're going to fan C. We're going to fan B. It's going to look like this. Center is going to help out and look for first to his side. We're going to get a little bit of a chip here and then release. So in theory, this is blocked up properly. Patriots in their film study likely saw that this is how they're going to protect it, and this is the perfect call to combat this. What they're going to do here, right? They know that these two are going to push out. So what do? You have Spillane here to draw the center one way. You have another defensive back right in the face here of the center. So now he's got to pick and choose, right? He can only block one side. There's going to be a free runner despite the chip because this 3 tech needs to be blocked. The back will take one of them, but someone is going to be free here, right? So the way they decide to play this out is Bozeman takes the defensive back. Spillane is again free. Ellis gets picked up by the back here, Vidal. And now Herbert has to flush because he has Spillane again wide open in his face. Great design by the Patriots. Now the defensive end here to the left, 91, if he does a better job and doesn't engage with the tackle here and takes a more outside approach, Herbert, if he scrambles this way, is right into the lap of number 90 or Spillane. He gets a little bit too narrow, and I think actually on the broadcast you'll see Vrabel kind of like yelling at him on the bench because of this. See how Herbert's able to get out? If he takes a more outside track here, this doesn't happen despite how good of an athlete Herbert is, and then this throw doesn't even get off, right? But nonetheless, they miss. Good design by the Patriots. Very good execution other than their left end there. Easy fix, and they're off the field for a massive stop. Okay, so now the Chargers are backed up in their own territory. They're going to be in 22 personnel, so 2 backs in the backfield, 2 tight ends here, 1 wide out. We're going to get the wide out in motion here, and the Patriots are going to call the perfect play once again for this situation. So Herbert is going to fake run here to Vidal, and then the Chargers are going to call just a basic flood pass. This is a really easy, simple concept. It's a great zone beater, and the Patriots are actually in zone here, but it's kind of a twist to fire zone coverage, which I'll go over in a second. So we're going to get Mandatory outside release fade here. We're going to get a 10-yard out by the tight end. Fullback's going to leak to the flat. So just a typical flood pass. Usually a really good call against zone concepts, but because the Patriots dial up the perfect pressure, Herbert cannot get to his answer against this coverage and gets sacked. So as we roll the clip here, we'll play fake. Herbert drops back. He's going to have a free runner in his face. So why does this work so perfectly for New England? So again, this is probably a big film study thing. They probably saw when the Chargers are in this personnel grouping and into this formation, this is their favorite passing concept out of it, and it's going to come at this time, and the Patriots call this at the perfect time. So Chargers, protection wise, we're gonna go full slide. So everyone is sliding to the gap to their left, our right here. Okay. Tight end is into the route. Fullback's gonna leak, so the halfback is gonna have the edge here, right? So left tackle is outside to C, left guard has B, center has left A, guard has right A, we have B gap here, and then the edge is protected by the back. So the Patriots very likely recognize that this happens, so they call the perfect pressure. What they do is they get a pressure on away from the slide. You only have one player to block the edge, which is Vidal. So as we roll the clip here, Vidal does the right job. He takes the edge. Patriots send two off the edge. So he does a good job blocking the linebacker here, but now Carlton Davis is free off the edge, and he cleans Herbert up. Now, this coverage that the Patriots are in is just a typical fire zone. What a usual fire zone looks like, because there's a little bit of a twist to this, is usually Carlton Davis, who blitzes, he would have the deep outside third here. Gonzalez has deep outside third to his side. This backer is going to drop and play a seam curl flat. This backer has seam curl flat. We have a third rec hook by Spillane. Then this safety is going to rotate and take Davis's spot. Safety's in the middle of the field. This little tiny twist to an all-time classic makes Herbert clutch the ball for an extra second, and that's all Davis needs to do to get home. Not a look Herbert hasn't seen, but it made him think just for that extra split second. That makes all the difference in the world. Excellent design again by the Patriots. The answer here, as these routes play up and the Patriots match this, is this seam curl flat player, or match carry deliver, depending on your verbiage. He's got to take the first to the flat. He's got to match the first route. He's got to carry a vertical by two or deliver an inside route inside to Spillane. What he's going to do is he sees the fullback to the flat. He's going to match him right away. Spillane is going to run with this tight end for a step, and then he's going to take this crossing route. And Herbert doesn't have time to get to this answer, which would be the deep out, which technically should be open, with the safety having to take this fade. Even though the safety looks ready to pounce on it for a big hit, that would have been the answer. Herbert has to double clutch, can't get the throw off on time with Carlton Davis right there, is forced to try to evade. Davis cleans it up. Sack. Excellent design by the Patriots and execution. All right, sometimes your dogs just win. Patriots again lining up in a wide, even front look. Two wide D tackles, two wide defensive ends. No intricate design here. This is just all Milton Williams being a dog and absolutely dominating the left guard here. So last time we saw the Patriots in the set, they ran that cover 0-3 in the A-gap pressure. This time, no pressure at all. They just went with 4. Milton Williams is going to bull rush and just absolutely dominate this guard and push him right into Justin Herbert's lap. Disengage, lockout, and Herbert falls down. Barrymore also does a really good job here fighting over top to be there when if Williams could not bring him down, which Herbert falls anyway. So again, sometimes your dogs just win and it's not the design. Football, it's all about the Jimmies and Joes too, and the Jimmies won there for the Patriots. All right, this time Patriots are going to go to a classic 3 deep, 3 under nickel pressure here. So McConkey is in motion. What we're going to get here. Number 25 is going to blitz off the edge. This defensive end who is outside of the tackle is going to stunt inside. Gonzalez is going to have deep third to his side. The safety is going to rotate down. He's the match carry deliver player in the slot. Spillane is going to be 3-rec hook. Deep third here. Post safety in the middle. Just typical 3 deep, 3 under against trips. And we are going to get home here eventually. We'll show you how in just one sec. Got a one-on-one with the back. Down goes Herbert. Now, you could say here, a little bit of a miscommunication here on this chip release. Outside. I know typically, because this is a flat route, this guy would take him in a lot of teams' coverage rules, but that does not occur here. Spillane passes off Johnson to Gonzalez, who gains depth. Someone needs to be able to take him here. They don't, but they get away with it. Pressure gets home. Protection-wise, we're going to get a little bit of a different protection here. So we're going to try to pull the guard here, number 77. He's going to pull across the formation. This is actually a Patriots staple for years with Tom Brady. Typically used under center to try to get Gronk on a seam route. Number 42 here is not quite Gronk, so they don't do that. They just chip release him. But we're going to get pull here, and then we're going to block back here. Vidal has the edge again. So again, Patriots able. We got chip release. Patriots able to get a one-on-one with Vidal in pass protection, which seemed to be a theme in this game, which they took advantage of quite often. McConkey in motion. There's your one-on-one. That's a win. Ball out. Vidal actually picks it up, but we get a pressure. Simple, effective design this time. Works like a charm. Tackle is given all kinds of issues by this inside move, and we clean up there for an easy sack. Herbert's nightmare at the office continues. This time Patriots are going to be again in a 3 deep, 3 under pressure. Presentation is going to look slightly different. This time the 5th rusher is going to come from on the line of scrimmage with a linebacker here. So the nickel is not going to come off the edge this time. He's going to stay in coverage. We're going to buzz down with this safety here inside of 3. This safety is going to get to the post. Deep third opposite. Spillane here after somewhat showing like he was going to come. So again, same blitz coverage, different presentation each time by the Patriots. So really good job of keeping the simplicity for the defense. You're running the same coverage. There's different players executing those coverage and techniques, but again, the coverage stays the same. There's only so many players having to do something different, but it looks like you're doing a billion different things. There is an answer here for Herbert to actually hit. Unfortunately, again, not quite enough time. So we're going to see here to the bottom of our screen with Keenan Allen, he's going to work this little switch release dig. And he is open, but as Herbert hits the top of his drop here, he doesn't get the ball out on time. This is an anticipatory throw he's going to have to make, and he does not make it. And as he looks like he's about to throw it, he has a free rusher in his face, has to redirect, breaks 1 sack, and then gets strip sacked there. Let's look here from the end zone view. Just a typical pressure with a little bit different presentation up front. This is the typical Belichick tank stunt. Coach Vast does a great job on a lot of those presentation videos if you guys want to go over it more. What's going to happen here, this is just a pick stunt, right? So these two, number 90 and 93, they're going to stunt, and they're going to pick the lineman so Ellis can wrap free into the B gap here. So we'll go over it once. We'll pick, and they're free. So the beautiful thing about this, again, this is a really good game to run with 5 rushers. I really like this myself. So 90's going to work across Bozeman's face. He's going to pick the guard here. 93 is going to do the same thing with Bozeman. Ellis is going to wrap. Now, the Chargers don't do a great job of picking this up, obviously, but beauty's in the details, right? Ellis gets there, but 73 does enough. Now, he doesn't do a great job, but he does enough getting his arm on here where Herbert would have enough time to hit that dig. I know it's off screen here, but the beauty of this, which is something that can be undercoached, is after you pick here, you want to ricochet and get vertical upfield, not just hold that guard. You want to hit the guard, then get upfield. 93 and 90 for that matter do a beautiful job ricocheting and getting in Herbert's face, so they're not just working the pick, they are also being a threat as a pass rusher. 93 here actually gets hands on Herbert, which makes him stumble, which then allows the edge here working his rush to eventually track him down and strip the ball. Ellis then picks it up. So really good job in the finite details here. Big forced fumble, massive play. Last clip here, this is Milton Williams sealing the game. So what do we have here? We have a overload set to our right here. So how do you block this, right? You gotta half slide it typically. So these 3 are gonna slide to their right gap and be responsible for the players that entered that gap. We're gonna switch games and stunts, etc., etc. We're gonna lock backside here. The guard is gonna have Spillane if he comes. Tackle is gonna have the edge rusher. You have Disley here to chip if you want. Doesn't really matter. Now, this is Williams just being a dog, but there might be a little bit extra to it if you look in depth. Williams might know that this is happening because this is typically how teams are going to block this. Williams takes 1 step upfield, and then he's going to cross face on Bozeman. So this could be absolutely brilliant by Williams or the Patriots designing this. Could just be Williams being a dog. But knowing that the slide is going to be to this side to cross Bozeman's face and his leverage, and knowing Spillane is here and 77 needs to take him, this is a huge hole for Williams to work through. And Williams is hard to block one-on-one, but if you're losing your leverage and you don't have any help, again, possibly incredible design and heads-up play by Milton Williams. I don't know, I'm not in the room, but this is an awesome play by Williams, crossing Bozeman's face, swimming by, get off me. 77 is drawn in for that 1 second, right? Spillane takes 1 step upfield before he drops, and because of that, there's a little hole for Williams to work through, and if you can't fully get head up on Williams, you're not going to win. He seals the deal. So again, just a disaster for Justin Herbert. Masterclass by the Patriots, making simple designs look complicated enough to throw Herbert off. And Patriots can continue to do this to quarterbacks. They have a good chance to go a long way. We'll see what happens this week.